M1 Garand asks, would any of the girls date a guy who legally owned a firearm? Go ahead. Here, I'll keep it up.
Yes.
Okay.
Depends on why.
Self-protection? Self-defense?
There's some weirdos. I don't know. It's just everything depends on context.
Some
I can't
weirdos?
just say yes or no.
Some weirdos?
Yeah, there are guys who are. I would like. There's certain guys where it's like. There are certain guys where if he had a gun, it'd be like a complete red flag, and I'd be like, no. There are other guys where it's like, oh, that's normal, depending on where they live, who they are, etc.
Well, like how do you differentiate? What would make a guy weird, and then a guy, oh, that's normal?
I mean, especially if it's like some type of like assault rifle that you have in the military, like I don't think any normal person, like not to be controversial, but I don't think
you can be controversial.
I don't think a normal person should have a machine gun, you know. Ooh, how about that,
really
you know?
What?
I don't think we should be able to bring that into Walmart, you know. But like, if he lives in a dangerous city and he has a small gun to protect himself, like, you know, who am I to judge? But like, as a woman, it does scare me, you know, being around a man with a gun. Like that just
Why does
me.
that scare you?
Again, not to get too political,
Be
but
political.
like,
Do
as a
Be
black
political.
woman, like our murders and our disappearances aren't investigated, aren't looked into as much as that of a white woman or that of a white man, especially, where it's just like, I don't know, I'd hate for something to happen to me and me just go down as someone who was killed in a jealous rage by you at the hand of a man. Like that's just a horrible way to go.
Would you be in a better position if you were killed by a woman?
I mean, I'd prefer it to
hold on. Whoa.
I definitely would like to be killed
You'd
by a woman.
prefer. Keep in mind, you're dead, right?
live by the sword, die by the sword, baby.
What?
I came out a woman, I'll die by the hand of one. I'd much rather die by the hand of a woman. Fuck yeah. But I'm just saying, like, something about a man with a gun, like, there's a reason why there are more male serial killer than women. Like, there's obvious reasons why that would, you know, a man, and especially, like, with sexual assaults, a woman with a gun makes more sense to me than a man with a gun. Where it just,
Oh,
I know
gosh,
it's
okay.
unlikely, but just the thought of anything happening to me is terrifying. We're just like, anyone having a gun would put me on edge for sure. It just depends on context.
So, I don't know if I want to ask this. We'll continue on. Go ahead.
I grew up around guns. I know how to load a gun. I know how to clean a gun. I know how to take care of a gun. But I've been like, there have been some weird accidents, you know, growing up. Like, not my own accidents.
Okay, but
not
would
hearing
you
about uncles,
date a
but
guy who legally owned a firearm?
Legally, everything checked out, be fine.
Have before, would again.
Yeah.
I mean, like, my dad owns a gun, and so, I mean, it'd have to depend on, like, if the guy's in, like, sound mind or anything, or if it's
Sure.
legal. But, yeah, I think I would. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't really care. I mean, that's their business.
I have. So, yes. But also didn't know. I found it.
Okay. Cool. So I have a question here. Sorry, your name's Annalisa, right?
It's Anna.
Anna. Okay. Anna Lisa. Is that your full name?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that?
Yeah, that's my first name.
Okay. Anna.
Anna.
Okay. So Anna.
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 Am I saying it right?
Anna.
Am I fucking this shit up?
Like Anna and Elsa.
Anyways,
Anna banana, Anna
So
banana.
I was curious because I saw on your Instagram, you said something. Can we pull it? No, we don't need to pull it up. But you said, was it, fuck the police?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Correct. That is correct. I did say fuck the police. Very much.
Okay, so
Ask you, baby.
that is what your Instagram says in the bio, correct?
And I'll say it again. Fuck the police.
Oh shit. Okay. The views expressed by the other panelists do not necessarily reflect those of the show or the host. Okay, so would you why is that controversial? Would you date, kind of related to our last question, would you date a police officer?
No, fuck the pigs.
No.
Jesus. Why the and I asked this out of curiosity, why the dislike for police?
Because the institution they support is inherently racist and profiles black and brown Americans especially, throws them into jail, which is a continuation of the slave trade, essentially. People are working in prisons for less than minimum wage, making pennies and dimes, and it's unfair, and that's what you contribute to if you're a cop. I'm just not for it. Not for the killings or for the jailings.
So I guess my question to you is, I disagree with you on...
Yeah, I bet you do,
What?
white boy.
That's a bit racist.
Oh my God, no, you're one of those.
I mean,
He is white.
How can you be racist against? And I'm also half
You
white, so
don't-
like, how can I be racist against you? It's not like you ever have to experience any type of persecution because of your race. You're not going to be profiled.
But what if he said that towards
but
you?
you, so you don't
Because, well, the
you don't
thing
hold
is-
on, hold on. You don't think you can be racist towards someone who's white?
No, I don't, because you've never experienced racism in history.
White people haven't experienced racism.
One of the experiences.
What's your definition of racism?
I'd say basically like the persecution in any type of way that leads to the downfall of just like someone's life. Like, it's always going to affect my life. I can't take off my skin color. As a black woman, like, you ask me why he can't say that to me, and I can tell you because my race will forever affect me. A cop can see me and profile me in the stereotypes of a black woman, that I'm fast, that I've been over-sexualized all my life just for my skin color. Like, it's not unfair, but these prejudices, I don't know how to say the plural of that word, but they do exist, and those same prejudices that exist against me don't exist against you, Brian. And that's why you can't be racist against a white person. So I'm sorry if you feel offended, but you are white, and me calling you white boy isn't exactly
It's a bit.
racist.
I mean, you are addressing me by my skin color. It is a bit. I consider
Your
it a
skin
bit.
color will never lead to the, premature murder of yourself. Like, I don't know. Like, no one's ever gonna feel like, oh, this person's white, so they're a threat. This person's white, so they're lesser
I
than.
would actually point out one thing to you, because we were discussing police. Me as a white man, I'm the only male at this table here. There are more white men killed by police officers than women of any race combined.
I mean, then why aren't you mad? Why don't you hate police too?
Because I realize that police are a necessary function of society. Without police, it would be chaos. Now, hold on. Let me finish.
It's a spectrum.
I think that there are some things that are wrong with the way policing is done, but certainly as a society, law enforcement is needed. Do police fuck up? Is there police?
It's,
Hold on.
It's set up
Let me
against black
finish.
people.
Hold on, let me finish. Is there police brutality? Absolutely. Is there police misconduct? Absolutely. Should this be punished? Absolutely. But society, we need police officers.
I mean, I think that's really easy to say as you, once again, I'll reiterate, a white person. And again, that's not to be racist.
Black
But-
women can want...
Here's
Black
the
people
thing.
want police officers too.
I'm not saying
Can
that,
I
but
just really quick? I just think that police forget that they work for the people. I think they forget that they're peace officers. They're sworn in to protect the peace, and that's about it. I think they work for the people. And
Supposedly.
supposedly there are good cops, there's bad cops, and I fuck the police and fuck this question. So
It's controversy.
it's controversy, and
But I think we need police officers.
I think, well,
For
I think
society
we
to
need someone who's going to be in
function.
charge. To
Like-
be like, hey, don't be doing that, you know? Like,
If there's some if someone in my family
It's
is,
Thomas Paine, dude. You're right.
Yeah.
It's part of the trade-off that you make. You're going to be in a society of a lot of niceties for being in that. And part of the things that you can't do is just anything under the livid sun, and that's where law enforcement comes
Yeah.
in.
Anyways,
I
if this is
agree.
too
Yeah.
sensitive of a subject, we can certainly move on. But
I would like to say something.
sure.
yeah.
Well, I have, like, my mom's mom, my grandma, is a police officer. And I would always question, like, why, she's a black woman, like, why would she be a cop? But her and I had a discussion saying that I think that even though not all cops are in the right sometimes, I do think that all cops need more training, more education on, like, how to handle certain situations, especially because there have been so many situations that I've just seen on social media that could have been avoided if they had more training. And I do think that they're necessary, because if you don't have them, then you're just going to have chaos. And we've seen it. I mean, 2020, we've seen some chaos. So
Just in Isla Vista alone,
Yeah, like that's a good
Yeah.
example. Yeah, like they're there for a reason, and I think they should be there for a reason. They just need to be trained.
And you
better.
never stop learning.
I,
You know?
Well, if I can just try to get at the heart of kind of what, so do you not want police officers? I just want to understand. I'm not trying to be critical. I just want to understand where you're coming from.
Basically, like, as to my understanding, again, as a black person in America, the institution that police officers work for, whether they know it or not, whether they themselves stand for it or not, what they're working for is constituting towards racism. It's building towards America's existing case of racism, which, like, I feel like because police are, like, supposed to protect us, like, no one wants to say it, and, like, because it's not obvious, like, no one wants to admit it, but, like, at the end of the day, that system itself has to be dismantled in order for, I don't know, society, you know, you say you're a, what was the word you used?
Egalitarian.
That's how you pronounce it, egalitarian. Like, in order for society to be truly equal, we need to, like, take apart these systems that are inherently racist, inherently unequal, that, you know, aid in the, I don't know how to say it, the lack of development within certain societies, and, like, reestablish them. And I think that includes the police force. I think, like, as it exists now, the police force cannot go on, especially, like, if we wanted to actually benefit society.
So how do we do law enforcement without police?
I'm not a cop.
Okay, do you have family members? Do you have a mom, a dad, brothers, sisters?
Sure.
Yes. Why would you ask?
One of them gets murdered. How does that get solved? Do you want justice? Because without police
the cop
officers,
isn't gonna 100% solve that.
sure, they might not, but
why
they're going
wouldn't
to.
the cop have prevented that murder?
That's a
then?
homicide. Those are detectives.
Yeah,
They have
we're not talking
detectives
about
are
detectives.
law enforcement officers.
Yeah,
I
know.
think I said
But
police.
they're
I
like
think
more
I said fuck
training.
the
They're
cops.
like upper people. Homicide is a
hold-
whole different ballgame.
They are cops. They are police
I
officers.
think there's like a
They graduate from cops to like detectives.
yeah.
If you're on homicide,
They're law
they
enforcement
all start
officers.
as grunts.
Detectives are out in
Yeah.
squad cars and
It
Yeah.
just-
Well, I mean,
Listen, I want to make something clear. There's certainly cases of police misconduct, police brutality. Those things are terrible. Are there ways we can better train police officers? Absolutely. But I think police officers are fundamental to a
You're
functioning
saying that like
society.
the justice system itself isn't corrupt. Like I don't know if someone
I don't
know,
disagree with you there.
I mean, like, what if my mom does get murdered? And then what if they get the wrong guy? And what if he gets convicted and spends the rest of his life in prison? Or what if they do get the right guy and he just gets, like, you know, what is it?
Slap on the wrist?
Executed. No, executed. I live in Missouri. I lived in Missouri. That's a state in which you can get the death penalty. I don't think that's fair justice. If someone killed my mom, I'd want them to rot in prison for the rest of their life. So, no, either way, if someone's already murdered, what the fuck is a cop gonna do? Unmurder them?
I mean, they're going to try to they're going to investigate the crime.
They're gonna try to investigate the crime.
you are
Murderers
correct.
are caught. Murderers are caught.
Not always.
Not all the
That's why
time.
there's shows called
So there's-
Unsolved Mysteries.
so-
Genius.
More
So
here
there-
than in
hold
a
on.
lot of places.
So
Unless
there-
they like leave DNA
Hold
and
on.
come everywhere.
Hold on.
Like,
So there shouldn't be police officers because some cases aren't solved?
That's not what I said. That's just your
But I'm-
argument has fallacies in it, so I'm not
What-
sure what you're saying. I said there shouldn't be police officers because the system they stand for is corrupt. Did you not hear me? Not because they can or cannot solve murders. I just feel like what they do is not what they stand for isn't what they say they're doing. They're saying they're protecting the people, and they do protect white people. Of course they do. White people don't get stopped and frisked, and that's a known fact. It's unproportional that in Latino and black communities that these are the people who are getting stopped and frisked constantly. The police are at the disadvantage of black and brown people. They will always be to your advantage, and that's why you're in favor of them, and that doesn't surprise me. However, from my point of view, as someone who grew up in a city that had both poor and rich people, black and white people, I've seen the way cops treat black people versus white people, and especially the way they treat poor black people, and it's disgusting and it's inhumane, especially someone who has family who's poor black people. It's really scary. So no, I do not think police officers should still be instated the way they're currently being instated. The fucking system needs to be changed and remodeled so it benefits everyone, not just you, but everyone at this table.
I mean, I kind of reject quite a few of the premises that you've laid out there. I mean,
I'm sure you do.
Sorry.
So, but anyways, we don't have to stay on that for too
What do you
long.
reject
Could I
exactly?
just say something really quickly?
Sure.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, like brown people and Latinas and stuff. Like as a Latina, I know that when I call,
the microphone,
oh
please.
sorry, I know that when I call, if I ever need like the police, like at any moment or at any given time, I trust that the police is going to be there to support and serve justice. You cannot generalize that all policemen are racist or they're all bad. You know, that's like the worst thing you can possibly do.
I didn't say all, but I just said in Latino and brown communities, again, if you were listening to me, we are getting stopped and frisked unproportionately. We are getting watched more than white people. I'm not saying all police officers are bad. I'm just saying these are the statistics, and you can look them up. I, too, as a Latina, know this. I'm not dumb. But I do
Nobody's
know.
calling you dumb. Yeah.
Well,
When
I'm
was
not
the last
saying
time
that.
you got stopped by a cop?
When was the last time I got stopped?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Like when
What
you
con-
got
what
pulled
context?
over or like anything. Like when's the last time you got pulled over?
Questioned by the po-
stopped?
questioned
Like when's
by
the
the
last time you
police?
talked to a cop? He was like, "Hey, you."
When was the last time I spoke to a police officer? Well, let's see. I mean, I had a lawsuit. I went to the courthouse, but I mean, that's not really.
That's not it.
I was attacked in the street exactly a year ago, and the police. I
damn.
called the police. I was attacked in the street,
Okay.
not by the police.
I believe
By
you.
I got jumped.
Mhm.
I called
What'd
the
you say?
police.
Just kidding. Go.
I called the police. They
Okay.
showed up. They took a report.
Yeah.
There was some follow up. They investigated a little bit. Actually, I give quite a bit of credit to the police. They did a decent amount of work investigating it. However, as soon as it got to the woke district attorney here in Santa Barbara, the district attorney absolutely dropped the ball. So that's where I agree with you that the justice system is broken. So I didn't get justice
Either.
myself. And there was an abundance of evidence.
Yeah.
But because I actually say, I mean, I don't want to go too far into all the identity politics stuff, but I think because of the circumstances of the attack, the district attorney did not want to pursue it. But, well, we're not going to get into it. But yeah, the district attorney did not pursue criminal charges, even though there was an abundance of evidence.
Was it male
Bunch
or
of-
female who attacked you?
3 guys. I got, for the police that helped me out with that case, nothing but love for them. But fuck the DA. That's all I got to
For
say.
sure.